Hey all, this is Creed. I'm a process engineer and I design digital transformation solutions from the customer's point of view. Today, I want to look at some fundamental concepts on how we manage meetings, particularly how we do brainstorm sessions. So one small component I think we sometimes overlook, but I think is essential, are going through ground rules for brainstorm sessions. I'm going to give 5 ground rules that are essential for any brainstorming strategy session, particularly in our current COVID virtual style of meetings that we're having right now. First, before I even start with the ground rules, let me give you a tip. What's critical is to gauge the environment of the brainstorm session that you're about to manage. One of the number one reasons I do ground rules is to gauge what the interaction is going to be like throughout the sessions. Now, if you're having an hour and a half session, 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, I've done them all. The ground rules sets the tone. It also gets you to see who is going to be interactive, who may not be, who you need to rely on more, who you may need to coerce to talk more inside these sessions, because everyone's feedback is critical. I usually suggest to get someone to give the ground rule first. Try not to impose your ground rule first. Allow someone to give their ground rules. Usually there's about 5 to 7 to 10. Any more than that is just too much, and that's not what you want. That's not the intention. But get an understanding of who's going to participate, and then just see what type of rules can come out of this. Now, if they haven't said some of the critical ones that I'm listing, this is where you may want to chime in and give these examples of ground rules. So, rule number 1 should be obvious. Everyone's heard this before. It's probably even more so critical during this environment, but no talking over each other. It makes it very, very hard for everyone to hear, and myself and consultants that are working with me. It's hard for them to capture people's feedback and notes. So, number 1 for sure, no one talking over each other. Ground number 2, I'm sure you heard this one as well. Try to make some limits on how long you're going to do these sessions, or certain activities of the brainstorm sessions, or just put some fixed increments that everyone can feel comfortable and aligned to, that you're not doing this for 7 hours straight, but maybe hour and a half increments. I usually recommend hour and a half. After hour and a half, I need a break. I need some chocolate, perhaps, something like that. Put that in, make it fun, make it so that you have some standards on how long you're going to be working for, as well as snack time is at such and such intervals, right? 2 o'clock when I have a whole day session, 2 o'clock guaranteed. I have, hey, it's break time. Let's break out some chocolate. I need some sugar right now. But besides the point, make some increments on time rules. So here's some clever ones I'm not sure if you heard of, but when I say them, they have an impact to others and it's memorable. And also it is actually real. You actually need these concepts. Ground rule number 3. Ground rule number 3. No compli-butts. No compli-butts. No compli-butts. Right? What does that mean? That means when you're in the middle of the brainstorm session and individuals are giving their ideas, particularly when you're in that ideation stage of any strategy or brainstorm session, you don't really want to start, verifying, gauging the success of any solution that's been mentioned. You don't want to start correcting it. So I try to use this rule to stop that. What that normally means is, that's a fantastic idea, but they butter me up with a compliment saying, let's tell you what you want to hear, and then end it with a but. I try to defer that and say, let's not get to that point where we're gauging and rating any solutions. So no compli-butts. People hear that and they kind of laugh. It gets a laugh or a chuckle or two, but people understand it. No compli-butts. Ground rule number 4, no mind over matter. Well, in this case, this is a scenario where you have a few individuals that put their hand up for some great solutions, but of course they are rarely impacted by these solutions, so the work and effort that needs to be done is not even in their ball court. So mind over matter is I don't mind and you don't matter. It means, Creed, I have this great solution that's going to fix this whole thing. What you need to do is X, Y, and Z, and don't forget the A, B, and C. So it's I don't mind and you don't matter. I'm just dictating what needs to be done from my perspective to you, and you do all the work. So I try to steer those type of ideas and those kind of concepts away in brainstorm sessions, because you hear a lot of them where people are not thinking about the people that are involved that actually has to do some of these solutions. Ground rules number 5. Okay, now this is a doozy. This one is critical. Oh, I think they're all critical, but I really like this one. I call this 3 for 5 rule. 3 for 5 rule, ground rules. This means every type of solution that is developed. So in some cases, I give people, you got 5 minutes and you come up with 5 solutions, or come up with 10 great storyboards or things of that nature. The 3 for 5 is of those 5 solutions, the ratio, 3 of them have to directly involve your work, your effort, a change in your case. Not 5 solutions that point at 5 different individuals, and the individual that wrote the solution, there's no effort or no work on their point. So whenever you're doing a strategy session, a brainstorm session, continuous improvement efforts, whenever you're doing brainstorm sessions and improvement opportunities, it's critical that every participant looks at the work that they're doing themselves. Is there anything I can do that's going to transform this solution, that's going to support this solution? So 3 for 5 means out of the 5 solutions that is raised, 3 of those solutions directly involve my effort to make a change or support. I have a bonus one. Another one is not about us without us. I think you've heard that before. Not about us without us. And hopefully that resonates with a few people. What that means is, as best as we can, we try to incorporate everyone that's involved in a strategy session that would have to be impacted, even the people that need to be consulted and informed. Sometimes they cannot make these sessions. I try to incorporate where there are certain departments or people that cannot attend this session, and so they're not there to also give their feedback or give their rebuttal whenever someone is talking about them or their department or what they do. So I try to limit those kind of conversations as well, because sometimes that does not lead to a good solution, or worse, it leads to division within the organization. So not about us without us. These are 5 ground rules plus one bonus tip that I gave you. Ground rule number 1, don't talk over each other. Try to limit that. Ground rule number 2, set time limits. Ground rule number 3, no compli-butts. Ground rule number 4, no, I don't mind, you don't matter. Ground rule number 5, 3 for 5. And the bonus, which is, I guess, 6, is not about us without us. So hopefully those ground rules will work for you. If you have any ground rules you think are clever and worked well for you in the past, please leave those comments below. I would love to hear them. If you want to know more details on how I facilitate sessions from beginning, whether it's an hour and a half, 1 day, 3 day, 5 day, leave me some comments and I can trial doing a few mock sessions. If you're interested maybe in just templates and you want to know, okay, what does the agenda look like in these sessions, get a hold of me and I can send that to you. Let me just close by saying, do one thing at a time, focus on the most important thing first, and start it right now. Talk to you soon. Peace.